If you're struggling to hear and trying to decide between over-the-counter hearing aids and prescription hearing aids, you're not alone. Over-the-counter hearing aids are everywhere now. Some people say they're the future, others say they're a waste of money. So what's the truth? Are OTC hearing aids just cheaper versions of prescription hearing aids, or are they actually designed for completely different people? If you're new here, I'm Dr. Stapleton, audiologist, and in this video, I'm going to explain the real differences between OTC and prescription hearing aids, who each one is designed for, what they can and can't do, and how to know which option actually fits your hearing needs. Clarity. OTC hearing aids are hearing aids. They are medical devices. They are regulated by the FDA, and they are very different from sound amplifiers. The difference between OTC and prescription hearing aids comes down to who they're intended for and how they're fit. One quick note before we go further, because this has changed a lot in recent years. Some people assume OTC hearing aids are the only place to start because of cost. But today, a growing number of health insurance plans in the U.S. offer hearing aid benefits or discounted pricing that can make prescription hearing aids far more affordable than people expect. That means many people are no longer forced to start with OTC devices purely for budget reasons. Cost still matters, but it's no longer the deciding factor it used to be. So with that context, let's talk about who OTC hearing aids are actually designed for. What OTC hearing aids are for. OTC hearing aids are designed for a very specific group of adults. They tend to work best for people who perceive their hearing loss as mild to moderate, have fairly symmetrical hearing in both ears, have a flatter hearing loss rather than a steep, high-frequency drop, spend most of their time in quiet or predictable listening environments. OTC hearing aids are self-fit. That means the user adjusts them on their own without the assistance of an audiologist. For the right person, that can be a reasonable entry point. Limitations of OTC devices. But OTC hearing aids do have real limitations. In general, they can't fully address more complex or more severe hearing losses, offer limited fine-tuning, especially across different sound pitches, provide less support for speech clarity and background noise, and often lack a local place for hands-on troubleshooting, adjustments, or follow-up care. So if your hearing loss is uneven, more advanced, or you struggle most in noisy environments, OTC devices will often fall short. There's one limitation I see especially often. OTC hearing aids tend to struggle for people with a high-frequency hearing loss, particularly when low-frequency hearing is still normal. This is one of the most common hearing loss patterns I see in my clinic. When low frequencies are normal, over-amplifying them can make sound feel boomy or uncomfortable. But when high frequencies need very precise targeted amplification, OTC devices usually don't have enough flexibility to do that well. That's why people with this type of hearing loss often tell me, things sound louder, but speech still isn't clear. And that's not a failure of effort. It's a limitation of fit and programming. What prescription hearing aids do differently. Prescription hearing aids are designed for a much wider range of hearing needs. They are professionally programmed, adjusted using real ear measurements, optimized for speech understanding, supported with ongoing follow-up care. They're not just about making sounds louder, they're about how your brain processes sound. The most common mistake, the biggest mistake I see is this. Someone tries an OTC device. It doesn't work well for them, and they assume all hearing aids won't work. That's like wearing the wrong prescription level glasses and blaming all glasses. How to decide? Here's the simplest way to think about it. OTC hearing aids tend to work best for mild, straightforward hearing needs in relatively predictable environments. Prescription hearing aids are designed for more complex hearing and listening situations, especially when speech clarity really matters. Neither option is bad. They're just built for different levels of hearing complexity. And the same idea applies to every hearing aid style. The right choice depends on your hearing profile, your daily environments, and other individual factors. So if you're wondering, okay, which type of hearing aid would actually work best for me? I break that down clearly in the next video. Which hearing aid style is best for you?